If a third world war happens, it will never be the way you think. According to many people, the conflict between Israel and Iran will be the war that triggers a world war. Time will show, of course, but in this video today, I will talk about how such a war might begin, how countries are preparing for this anticipated conflict with new technologies, and how it might end. I'm sure you'll be very surprised by what you hear. To understand what may happen in the future, we must first follow the clues of the past. First World War, Second World War, and then today. It has been exactly 80 years since the last major war. But have you ever wondered why countries risk everything and go to war? There are many reasons behind world wars, but the most important one is that major powers want to repartition the world. Pure greed. We are talking about a world war, yes. But these wars never began on a global scale. They always started regionally, for example. World War I began with an assassination. It was a small crisis in the Balkans. But then Austria declared war on Serbia. Russia supported Serbia. Germany declared war on Russia. France, England, the Ottoman Empire, and Japan followed, and the entire world was dragged into it. Similarly, World War II. Germany's invasion of Poland initially looked like a regional occupation, but England, France, Germany, then Russia, Japan, and finally the United States became involved, turning it into a world war. The issue was not just land. Raw materials, energy routes, and strategic regions, those who wanted to control the world sacrificed millions for it. In World War I, 20 million people died. In World War II, this number approached 70 million. The event that ended World War II was a new technology, the atomic bomb. The United States used this terrifying weapon to frighten all nations and ended the war by proving it was a superpower. The force that ended the last World War, the atomic bomb, will likely be used to start the next one. But this time, things are different. Because the atomic bomb is no longer in the hands of just the US. Many countries possess this power. Therefore, when World War III breaks out, the new superpower of the world will be the one with the technology capable of ending the war, just like in World War II. But is this technology more advanced atomic bombs? No. The thing that will determine the winner of future wars is technological superiority in space. World War III will not be what you imagine. Today, most satellites communicate with each other and send signals. They serve many purposes, guiding ships and planes, contributing to science, providing internet and communication, analyzing Earth's topography, seismic activity, and weather events. They are vital for humanity, but they also allow nations to see each other's secret bases. However, the primary reason for launching satellites has always been the same: war. At the beginning of the Cold War, the main purpose behind satellite launches, although disguised as scientific, was surveillance. When the US won the space race and the Soviet Union collapsed, many space projects were shelved. There was no longer a threat, and the projects were extremely costly. But today the costs have decreased and the work has already begun. In fact, in 2019, the US established a new military branch, the United States Space Force. They defined space as a battlefield. 5 years ago, around 2020, there were about 3,000 satellites orbiting Earth. Today, the numbers are astonishing. Nations have no secrets anymore. Everything can be observed from satellites. For example, Russia secretly sending soldiers to Ukraine, or the US establishing a military base on a tiny island. Even North Korea, which appears closed to the world, can be monitored in detail. According to Reuters, Elon Musk's SpaceX is creating a network of hundreds of spy satellites under a secret contract with the US government. You've probably seen the live streams celebrated by Barış Özkan during each rocket launch. He celebrates them for scientific progress, of course. But behind the scenes, very different plans are being made. This is a satellite orbiting Earth at 7.5 kilometers per second, about 400 kilometers above the surface. There's a reason it stays at this altitude. This satellite drops a rod toward Earth without any explosives. It's called the Rod of God, a theoretical kinetic weapon system. As the metal rod falls toward Earth, it accelerates, reaching 8 times the speed of sound. When it impacts, it creates a massive explosion. It's a weapon capable of reaching hardened bunkers. It's called God's rod, because the strike feels like an invisible divine blow from the sky, almost impossible to see or defend against. Another system is a capsule carrying an army of drones, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands, that are released to attack any target. Here you see dozens of satellites, but these are equipped with destructive missiles. They can strike not only locations on Earth, but also enemy satellites. And then there are other systems that don't involve any explosions at all. For example, jamming, interfering with the signal between a satellite and a ground station, completely cutting communication. No messages can be sent or received. A weaponless attack. Another is spoofing, using a ground station to take control of a satellite. You can operate it or use it for your own purposes. There are also lasers, capable of permanently or temporarily disabling satellites. And finally, cyber attacks, hacking. The most widely used method today. Those who succeed can steal data, take control of satellites, or render them useless. These systems use no explosives. These are invisible weapons. The US, China, and Russia are believed to be working on these, some even quietly operational, though all deny it officially. As always, the US subtly hints, "We could do it if we wanted," quietly shaking its big stick. Countries are secretly maneuvering above us, in orbit. Remember, after President Trump took office, Elon Musk was often by his side. Guess what the topic was? America's enormous Golden Dome. This was no ordinary project. According to some, Musk's rocket technology and the Starlink network were not only for internet or research purposes, they were also used to help build the Golden Dome. Because the US knew, when World War III begins, not only tanks, aircraft, and missiles will be used, but space-based weapon technologies as well. The wars of the future will start on Earth and end in the sky, and the victors will first dominate space and intelligence. Because in the future, land will not be conquered, information will. But for the victors, the joy will be short-lived. I don't know the consequences of World War III, but after World War IV, humanity will likely live as slaves to a new civilization, artificial intelligences. At the end of the movie Terminator, it says, "When the AI Skynet became self-aware, it spread to all computer servers on Earth. Every home computer, anything connected to the internet. It could not be shut down because it had found a way." And Judgment Day arrived, the day humanity was nearly wiped out by the weapons it built to defend itself against other nations. We realized our fate was not to stop Judgment Day. Our fate was to survive it. So what will our fate be? Has a future been written for us, or will we write it?